Hello YouTube family, welcome to Sharon with Luxurious Interior Designs. Today I have a different video for you. It is a special, highly requested video for one of my YouTube family subscribers. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, and I hope that this information is helpful to you. Today's video I'm going to talk about my gallbladder and what I went through and how I'm coping with it today. So a little bit of backstory. Sorry this camera is up close, so let me just explain a little bit. I am in a different scenery because I'm not at home. I'm actually out of town, but I didn't want to make this subscriber wait until I got back home and had all my equipment. So I'm literally just uploading, you guys. And for those of you that don't know out there, I'm going to just let you know that if you didn't know, now, unless you have 1,000 subscribers, you can't even go live anymore. Go figure. But it's okay. It's okay. We still gonna do what we gotta do. Anywho, so a little backstory about, me and my gallbladder. So in 2008, when I had my daughter, I was having some trouble in my stomach. I was pregnant. They told me that I was threatening a miscarriage. So I was like, okay, but it turns out I was not threatening a miscarriage. After I had her, I found out that my gallbladder was bad. I didn't know how important the gallbladder was, didn't really care. I just had some pain, discomfort, very, very painful discomfort after I would eat, things like that. Long story short, I ended up getting pregnant again in 2008, had my son. They told me the same thing at the beginning of my pregnancy because I was experiencing that same pain, but it come to find out it was my gallbladder. And it was because after I had my first daughter, I was still experiencing that same pain, and they were like, oh, well, maybe you weren't having a miscarriage, it was your gallbladder. So I didn't want to get it out because I was scared. They said that I had to have surgery and I would have to be put to sleep and all this other stuff. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'll just keep it, thank you. But I didn't know that they don't tell you much about what you can do to help, but I hope that I'll be able to shed some light on that stuff in a minute. So I got pregnant with my son, and in the process of my belly growing, it took my gallbladder and pushed it into my liver and started to affect my liver. It got infected, and it started to affect my liver. Excuse me. So that's where the problem started to occur. The real big problem started to occur. At first I would still be able to eat things, but it just would bother me really bad. So to avoid the pain, I didn't want to eat. So I stopped eating, but then I would still drink. I would drink smoothies, I would drink water, I would drink juices. But then it got to a point in 2012 where I couldn't even keep water down. So one night I decided to go to the hospital because it was just unbearable. I was throwing up constantly, and I actually hate throwing up. Oh my God, it's the worst feeling in the world. So but I couldn't keep water down, so I had to go to the hospital. I went to one hospital, and I went there at like 8 in the morning, and they had me there for 9 hours and did absolutely nothing. So I still don't go to that hospital to this day. But left from that hospital because the pain just got worse. I couldn't eat anything, couldn't keep anything down. Went to another hospital where they then checked me and had to end up admitting me. And when they admitted me, they said that my gallbladder was infected and it was affecting my liver, and that's why I was having so much trouble. So they said they needed to do emergency surgery. But my gallbladder was so infected that, how does it get infected? I'm not sure. We would have to do some research on that. If you'd like me to do that, please leave me a comment down below. I'll look up some information for you, any questions that you may have, and I can do another video to update you on that. But to keep it moving forward, they said it was severely infected, but it was so infected that I had to take antibiotics by IV for a couple of days before they could even do the surgery. Like, I was literally almost about to die. Like, they were like, if you had waited any longer, you probably wouldn't have made it. So because they had to give it to me, I think it was like 2 or 3 days, the antibiotics, but I don't know, because they gave me morphine to do up the pain, and morphine for me keeps me asleep for days, literally just a little bit keeps me asleep for days, so I don't want it. But anyway, so They ended up doing all these different tests and stuff. Like I said, I was pretty out of it most of the time I was in the hospital. They finally did the surgery, and he said that thing was horrible. But I was going to live. And so I think they discharged me like the day later. But they did not tell me anything about, hold on one second, guys. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Had a brief interruption. But as I was stating before I left, I think it was like the next day after the surgery. So I was in the hospital about a week, or maybe a couple of days shy of a week. They let me go home, but they don't tell you anything about how to eat, what to do, any of that. All they did was tell me that I had H. pylori. I guess that came from it. I know very little bit about the H. pylori, but I know I had to take some medication for that, for it to go away. How you get that, again, I'm not sure. Excuse me. But then, you know, I had to have a drain. That's how bad mine was. I had a drain put in. They had me go back. It was like 3 or 4 days later. And when I had the drain after the surgery, I felt fine. I was eating, of course, small at that time, you know, the brat diet. Well, not even brat. I was on liquids, and then, or clear liquids, then full liquids, and then you have to gradually start eating again. And then it's like the soft foods, and then you can move on up to full foods. That's all they tell you. But yeah, it didn't work like that for me. So when I was drinking the juices and all that type of stuff, I was fine. When I went back in, by the time it was still time for me to go back in, I still wasn't able to eat very much. I was probably on like full fluids, which is like your darker fluids, broths, things like that. But then when they took that drain out, oh my God. Like, they snatched that thing out of me, and they tell you to take pain medicine, of course. They told me to take, I think it was a Vicodin at that time. But I'm not very big on medications. I've had 3 kids, and I really don't like medication. So I have a high tolerance for pain. But that pain, I'd rather give birth to 10 kids than that pain. That was horrible. So I had only took like a little Tylenol 3. I was like, oh yeah, no, just, you know, you can do what you got to do. When he went to go snatch that thing out of me, it was like my body literally went into a shock. Like, I caught an immediate fever, had to go, thank God the doctors was just right across the street from the hospital that I had the surgery at, because they literally had to rush me over to the hospital because my body just went into a shock. Not to scare anybody, because this is not for everyone. You guys have to look in and consider the fact that I knew my gallbladder was messed up 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for 4 years. I knew I needed to have my gallbladder out for 4 years. Now, I'll tell you my story, and I'll tell you because my sister had hers removed. She didn't go through any of the stuff that I have, so I'll tell you from both sides from what I know. I have another friend who has hers. She still has hers with the same problem as me. So I have 3 different scenarios for you. Let's put it that way. So moving forward with my story. Once I got out of the hospital from the fever going down and all that kind of stuff, which I was only there for like that day or whatnot, and then I was released that night. They put me on the medication for the H. pylori. Again, I don't know much about that. I just know that I kind of still had a tough time eating. So now let's move forward into, I want to say 5 days, like a week and a half after the surgery, where I should now be able to start eating regular food, you know. Again, they didn't give me a pamphlet letting me know, okay, hey, you can't eat spicy food, which I loved my spicy food, but I didn't even try to go there yet. I was just trying to eat regular food like chicken, hamburger, potatoes, bread, things like that. Yeah, no. The first time I tried to have a hamburger, like for some solid food, threw it up. Tried to eat a burrito, threw it up. Eyes would turn red. I mean, like within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes of anything that I ate, it literally would come back up. And it terrified me from food. Literally. To this day, I do still suffer from a food, like I have food anxiety, very bad. but I am well and I'm able to manage. That's why some days I have down days and I have good days. I'll tell you some of the things that I can eat, but what I did is from there I just kept going back and forth to the hospital. I am not going to kid you. Probably for the first 4 years I went back and forth to the hospital because, again, nobody's telling me what I can eat. So what happened to me personally is when I finally figured out, okay, I don't know what to eat. I'm scared. I've got this fear now of food, and everybody's telling me, oh, just eat, just eat. At the time, I was around 180 pounds. Okay, I was like 180. I'm only 5 foot even. So that's kind of heavy for 5 foot even, but I was like 180 pounds after I had the surgery. Well, I got all the way down to 120, and I went to the doctor and told them, look, now it's starting to get a concern because I've lost so much weight in like 3 months, and they told me that it wasn't a concern because I was 5 foot even, 4'11", whatever. Some doctors say 4'11", some say 5. They said that they weren't going to make it a big concern until I was under 95 pounds. So then I had to take matters into my own hands. I had to say my life means more to me to them, because if I got down that small, I probably wasn't going to survive. Of course, in a state of panic, I decided I'm not going to eat these types of food anymore. I'm dropping everything. And that's what I did. That's why I lost so much weight. I stopped literally eating everything and started from scratch. Okay? Went back to full square one. I went to just doing clear liquids. Okay, I can do that. Now let's go to full liquids. You know, thicker liquids like, you know, the dark sodas. Body didn't want it. If my body doesn't want it the first time I get sick from it, I will not touch it again, or almost anything of its like kind. So I said, okay, fruits and vegetables should be fine. I should be able to eat fruits and vegetables. Well, apparently, you guys, for me, I don't know if it's everybody, but I developed gastritis. I don't know if that's from having the gallbladder removed and it not being able to break certain things down, but I have gastritis, so I can't eat a lot of gassy foods. So, of course, broccoli, everybody loves broccoli, especially when it's, you can dip it in some ranch, you know, that type of stuff. My body said, I don't think so. So then I said, oh, okay. I threw up. It was horrible. I said, you know what? I'm not eating any more vegetables either. I threw all vegetables out. I do not recommend that, you guys, because over time, and I'll get to that, over time I learned what vegetables I can have and which ones I couldn't. I'm just telling you what I learned from back then, and if I can spare you all of that, then, you know, I'll be thankful to be able to do that. But this is how I learned, and I would love to help you to not have to do that. So I stopped eating all vegetables. Then when I would eat meat, it would hurt me. I stopped eating all red meat. Tried chicken. Chicken hurt me. I stopped eating chicken. Then I wasn't eating bread, because what would happen is I would get too full too fast, because now I've lost all this weight. My stomach has shrunk and I can't eat. So I eat a lot. So I didn't eat any carbs. At this time, my sugar was fine. I wasn't having problems with my sugar. But I didn't want any problems, so I cut out potatoes, I cut out rice, so you're probably asking yourself, what did you eat? I'm going to tell you exactly what I ate. When I ate turkey, ground turkey, it didn't bother me. So my life started revolving around turkey. I ate turkey bacon, I ate turkey burgers, I ate ground turkey, which me and my family still eat to this day, and we're pretty healthy. And I used ground turkey like I did ground beef. You can season it the same way. Everything that you do to ground beef, you can do to turkey. Turkey still is, to this day, the only thing that does not bother me. I started going to fat-free everything. I went to fat-free cheese. I went to fat-free anything I could get my hands on. It was fat-free. For a long time, I do also remember, and I forgot about that, I survived off of chips. It's weird because once you don't have your gallbladder, well, at least for me, junk food, I could eat. It's almost kind of like if you have Crohn's disease. You know, Crohn's disease, my grandmother, rest her soul, she had Crohn's disease for many, many, many years before she passed away. And anytime she ate junk food, she was fine. But if she tried to eat a meal, it was horrible, painful for her, and we experienced a lot of the same pain. And the only reason why I knew I didn't have Crohn's disease because I got checked for it, and they said no. So they checked me for everything, and everything was turning out to be fine. So I am able to eat, slowly over the years, which I want to say probably within the last 2 years now. In the last 2 years, I started having to doctor on myself. I did go and have an endoscopy, I think it's called, and please don't quote me on that, but it's where they stick the camera down your throat to check your stomach. So, and the only thing that they came up with is that I had inflammation of the stomach. So only medications, because I don't like medications, the only medications I will take is like Mylanta to soothe the stomach, and it helps with bloating. It helps with, matter of fact, I have my medicine bag here. I don't know if I have it right here, but I know that these here work for me, and nothing's sponsored, but children, because for me, my stomach is almost like a child's stomach all over again. That's why I'm saying it's for me. I started treating my stomach as if it was a child. So these are children's Pepto-Bismol tablets. This helps with acid indigestion, heartburn, sore stomach, and upset stomach. I also have my doctor give me Zofran. Hopefully they don't take these off the market, but these are like my best friend. Literally, still now, sometimes if I eat something like, because sometimes now I'll have a beef taco, like from Del Taco. They usually, their food doesn't bother me, but like, and Taco Bell sometimes with Taco Bell, but mostly every other place I still have problems. And crazy oddly, even Wendy's, when I eat Wendy's burgers, I have a problem, but if I eat their chicken nuggets, I don't have a problem. Ice cream, I can eat certain ice creams, but I do have to have lactate milk. I can't have, so I usually get either non-fat milk or lactate milk if I can somewhere. I try to stay away from a lot of fatty things, fatty foods, which is crazy because you do need good, fats. So like if you're not allergic, see, there's certain things that I'm allergic to. I have a lot of allergies. That's what this knot thing here is on my nose. The doctor said that, it states that it shows that I have a lot of allergies, in which I do. So I take loratadine on a daily basis. But since I have so many allergies, I can't eat avocados. I can't eat bananas. I can't eat strawberries. I can't eat cherries. These certain fruits and stuff that are very healthy for us, I can't tolerate. But if you can, by all means, try it. I guess my whole point of this video is to try to say that everybody is different. You're going to have to try and see what works for you. So let me give you a couple of other scenarios. My sister, who's younger than me, I want to say she got, we don't remember exactly who got theirs out first, but I want to say she might have got hers out first, but I don't remember. And she doesn't either. We talked about this recently. But anyway, she had to end up getting hers emergency removed. And it turned out that she just got IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, meaning she has to go to the bathroom within like 5-10 minutes after she eats every meal. To me, that's lucky. I wish that I could still eat whatever I want. She literally eats whatever she wants. She still has spicy food. Not really, really spicy food, but she can still eat whatever she wants. I don't know. I'll have to ask her how long, or sis, if you're watching, comment down below for our friends and share with them how long did it take for you to get to that point where you could eat. Because I still struggle with it, but it took me a while to even get to, I want to say months, 6-8 months before I could start eating really anything. But I lost a lot of weight again with that. So, she just got the irritable bowel syndrome, so she has to stay close to a restroom every time she gets ready to eat. And to me, like I said, that's lucky because I go through the opposite. I get constipated, I can't go, so it makes me feel full, all this type of stuff. I was just looking at her like, you got the easy stuff. Like, I wish I could just flush all this stuff out, but I've had bowel issues since birth. I know this is a little bit TMI, but this is literally for those who you know, are dealing with these digestive issues and need some help. So I hope that this is helping you. But if you're just grossed out and you're just scrambling through videos and this is not for you, I probably should have said that in the beginning. But anyway, you know, it's opposite for me. So my sister getting hers out, that's literally the only thing that happened with her. She had to also, I believe, have hers emergency removed, but all she got afterwards was that she has to stay close to a bathroom. But she has no problem eating whatever she wants. She can see a pastrami sandwich and say, I want that. Me, I have not had a burger in years. I have not had a steak in years. I am able to eat, it's odd, but I'm able to eat pork bacon, but it has to be thin sliced and I can't have too much of it. There are certain things that I can eat but not have much of it, and how I learned to do that was just don't go and indulge in a bunch of stuff. That's another thing that I did do, and I don't encourage that. After you have your surgery and stuff, don't try to go back to immediately eating whatever. Take your time, start out slow, eat one thing at a time, and then if you notice that it bothers your stomach, don't eat it. Because if it bothered your stomach once, it's going to do it again, and you're just going to be sick to your stomach, and you will develop a fear of food. I'm pretty hard to scare, but once you scare me, it's done data. So that's what I would recommend. I would recommend you starting out slow and see what your body can handle, because what my body can handle, your body may not be able to handle, and what your body may be able to handle, mine may not. For example, another friend of mine, she found out around the same time that her gallbladder, they were saying, needed to be removed. She was against it because I was going through what I was going through, but yet my sister was going through what she was going through, which was almost like nothing, but at the same time, she did have the IBS, and my friend's like, I don't want either of these problems. So she did research, and she changed her diet, so she stopped having the flare-ups. And I wish that I would have found that out, but again, mine's got infected, but I think it only got infected because I never changed my eating habit when I found out that I had, you know, this. So there's certain things that you should stay away from, caffeine, all these different things. So you know, you can Google what it is that you should stay away from if you have a bad gallbladder. But I think she did something with like vinegar and apple cider vinegar or something like that for a certain amount of days, and that's been years now that she did that. And again, she changed her diet, still sticking to that diet, but she doesn't have any more flare-ups. She doesn't have any problems. She's had two more pregnancies on top of hers as well, and no problems. So there are ways around this. So that's why I'm saying, like, each person is different. If you've already had your surgery and you're struggling with eating, what I would recommend is that you start out slow. Even though you used to could have this, now you don't have that gallbladder. You have to test and see one at a time what you can eat and what's going to bother you. And like I said, for me, most of the food that I ate that bothered me, it would happen in 15 minutes. Literally, after I ate, my eyes would turn bloodshot red and I would throw it up if I couldn't have it. If I could have it, it didn't affect me at all. Now, I want to say it doesn't happen like 15 minutes if it's something, because it's been so many years. It doesn't happen within 15 minutes, but I want to say within an hour. Sometimes it's even a delay where it can be 2 or 3 hours later I have an issue, but I'll take Mylanta, which helps with bloating, gas, stomach issues, sore stomach, all of that stuff. So, excuse me, I have a call coming in. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. But I would encourage you to start over and start out slow, and anything that bothers you, just change it up. I would not recommend just indulging in the old foods that you used to eat. It's not going to be easy, but you're not alone. The only way that you're going to find out anything about this is if we do stuff like this, post videos, talk about it. I have no problem talking about it. If you want to know more answers or have more questions, if I can help you in any way, I definitely am open to doing that. So just leave a comment down below and I'll answer it for you. Today I am able to eat a lot more than I used to. If you're still struggling, I was able to in the meantime, when I couldn't eat any foods, I drank Ensures. That's what also brought me back to health, because I got down, like I said, to about 120 pounds, 125 pounds, somewhere around there, and now I'm probably at 135. So I bounce back and forth between 135 and 130. I think that's a healthy weight for me. I look healthy. I don't look sick, because I looked sick. And the main thing that made me want to fight, because I had got to a point where I just wanted to give up. It was really bad for me. But when my uncle walked in and seen that I was so skinny and I was so fatigued and tired, and he asked me if I was on drugs, I was like, I'm terrified of drugs. Why would you ask me something like that? I don't even take prescription drugs, let alone drugs off the street. No offense to anybody who does, but you know, I'm scared of that stuff. So that was my point for me to start fighting for my life. And I still feel like every day is a struggle. I'm actually, at this moment, I'm very tired, I'm very fatigued, but I did eat right before talking with you guys. What did I eat? Something bad for me. I ate 2 tacos from, actually I ate one. I ate 1 taco from Del Taco because I'm out of town visiting, and some potato poppers, which is just bell pepper in there, so it's not like an actual jalapeno, but it's a bell pepper, and usually those are fine with me, but my stomach is kind of bothering me a little bit, so after I'm done with this video, I will take some of that. But usually I learned now, I don't touch anything that I've dealt with in the past that hurts my stomach. Like I said, I cannot have broccoli. Corn bothers me. What are some other things? Beef bothers me. It does bother me. Chicken bothers me unless it's boiled. I can't even have it baked or charbroiled. I know you're probably like, oh my God, what? But again, just because it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean it won't work for you, because I had certain problems when I was a child that you may not have. So while that pain is horrible, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody in the world, that's the only way you're really going to be able to find out what your body can tolerate, is by testing out the different foods and don't do 2 new foods in one day. So like, for example, I can have cereal, but I use the lactate milk. But let's say that, I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's say you try a hamburger. Try 1 hamburger at that time. Give it 2-3 hours. But stick to the foods that you were eating before that wasn't hurting you. So if you're still on liquids, or clear liquids or full liquids, stick on that. Or if you're eating an Ensure, if you're drinking Ensures or smoothies, I can do smoothies all day long. Pineapple smoothies, all that stuff. Yeah, that stuff's great. But if you do that, and then the burger, if the burger's fine, then you can have it, whatever that burger is, however you prepared it. A lot of the home cooked, like enchiladas, I can't do enchiladas. That stuff bothers me. Certain sauces, red sauces, I can't do any red sauces. I can do green if it's mild, and I can do the white sauces. So again, I hope that this helps. I don't want to make this video way too long. It's already at 22 minutes. I think a little bit longer than that, because I had told on the other part before it cut off, or before I had to cut you off. So, but I'm sorry that you had to go through this, because I know what I go through. I just tell you, definitely talk to your doctor. Make sure that there's nothing else going on. As long as there's nothing else going on, start out slow. Find out what's best for you. That's the best advice that I can give, because every time you go to the hospital, every time you go to the doctor, they're just going to tell you, oh, just eat. That's how they look at you. Because, oh, that's what I was talking about before I leave with my sugar. So, in all that time, because over all those years, I wasn't eating, now I'm hypoglycemic. My body has lacked some deficiency of carbs, so that's what made me have to start eating carbs again. So I am now eating the breads. The breads doesn't bother me. I am eating the breads. Pasta still kind of bothers me. Rice doesn't really bother me, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I got throat problems. I don't know. I think it's because of my favorite food. So it just takes time to recover from a tragic memory. You know what I mean? So try not to scare yourself half to death. Don't scare yourself in eating. Take your time and just know that you will recover from this. It is a way. Where there's God and there's a will, there is a way, and there is a way. If I can do it, you can do it. But I would definitely encourage you to do your research before trying to get your surgery. And if you need the surgery, try the home remedies first to see if it'll overturn. If it doesn't, then you may just have to get it out before, because you don't want it to get infected. You don't want it to have to be an emergency getting it out. I don't recommend that, because that could be why I went through so much. But since then, my liver, because that is the one organ that will re-heal itself, it has fully recovered. So now my insulin just shoots out too, like crazy. At anything I eat, it's like pew, 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 pew. And I'm like, slow down here. But when I was pregnant, I was gestational diabetic. So yeah, it's my luck. But anyway, you know, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helped you, my friend. Thank you so much for the request. Sorry that I'm not in my normal. I'm just out visiting family right now, so this is the best I could do right now. So if you have any other questions, please don't forget to leave a comment down below. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe to this video. Share with your friends. They may need some help. Or if you know anybody who's struggling in this area, this is not usually what I do, but I mean, I'm here for you guys. So any way that I can help, I definitely want to. Share this video, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Lots of lucky blessings and health, wellness, and all of the above. Okay, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.